Hey guys, BrickWizard59 here, today coming at you with yet another awesome LEGO Star Wars minifigure comparison review. And this is a bit of a anticipated one, as this is the review on the LEGO Star Wars Light Up Lightsaber minifigures. Now, these minifigures were actually released back in 2005, as there were a total of 6 minifigures, 5 that came out in the Star Wars line, which are seen here. And then there's also a light-up minifigure released in the LEGO City line as a police officer. So these figures from left to right, we got Mace Windu, ObiWan Kenobi, Darth Vader, Luminara Unduli, and Anakin Skywalker. So in this review, we'll just be taking a look at each figure individually, look at all their details, and then at the end, we'll do one final collection. But let's go ahead and take a closer look at each one of these minifigures. Alright, so before we get into an actual closer look at each figure, just want to go over the parts of the figure, as these are actually unique figures compared to just your ordinary average LEGO minifigure. For one, you cannot detach the legs, the right arm, which is the one with the lightsaber, or the head. So of course that does make it a bit delicate, and many times there has been a misconception, and many of these figures definitely have broken, and so therefore they're also quite fragile because of their age. And so the reason the right arm can't be disabled is because it actually contains the lightsaber, which is molded into the hand, and each lightsaber actually contains a small LED light, which is how, if you press the top, the lightsaber actually lights up, which is the main feature of these figures. So basically, the way this figure works is, as you could see, the lightsaber is molded into the hand. There's the LED in the hand, and then the wiring would go through the arm and to the body, which is where you would put your batteries. The batteries are placed in the minifigure torso and can be replaced from the back. But there you go, that's just a bit of a background information. Now let's go ahead and take a look at these figures. Alright, so the first minifigure here is Mace Windu. He was available in set number 7261, the Clone Turbo Tank from 2005. So you can see here, of course, on the front, he does have a dark bluish gray torso with the dark bluish gray belt and tan colored legs. He, of course, has the cape and a headpiece with a pretty plain looking facial expression. We'll take a look here at the back, and you could see, of course, he does have a cape, and of course underneath the cape he does not have any back printing. Moving him along, you could see there's a better look at the lightsaber, which is that gives you a very good look at how the mold was made for the saber and the arm. And you could add a small 1x1 stud to the end of his saber if you would like to. I personally prefer it without the stud. And then here's just once again a look at the front. So of course the main feature you do is press down on his head and the lightsaber lights up. So it's super cool. This isn't actually the brightest, as of course it's in a bit of a different colored hilt, so I show you that. The hilt is not the regular purple, it's more of a light pink / clear type of lightsaber blade. That's why it's easier to actually see the light. And even though that is true, this is still a bit more of a darker blade, therefore it's not as easy to see the light as you will actually be ending up seeing with the next ones. But there is just a look at Mace Windu. Alright, the second figure here is Luminara Unduli from the Wookiee Catamaran. Now this is of course one of the more simpler figures. You can see she of course has the black legs along with the black torso, which has very minimal torso printing. You could see a few lines to represent her robes, and then she has a bit of the part of the necklace. So as we move around, we see she has the bit more of a tannish green arm. And here's a back look at her cape, which has no back printing. There's just a better look at how the mold and the lightsaber are together. And she, of course, has the green lightsaber. Her headpiece is once again quite simple. It has a couple of dots for the eyes and then the pink lipstick. And of course, her headpiece here is actually detachable, unlike some of the other figures. So for all the figures, any headpieces are detachable. And of course, in terms of the lightsaber, you just push down and there's a better look. Now I'll actually decrease the brightness so you can get a better look. So this is a very, very bright saber. Green lights up the best of them all. And I just replaced the batteries on each one, so there's just a look at Luminara Unduli. Next off, we have Anakin Skywalker, and this is again the 2005 version, which was found in the Ultimate Lightsaber Deal. Now, this figure you can see has the black legs once more, along with the black torso, with the minimal brown detailing on the torso to represent his robes. He of course has the one tan colored arm, and of course there's a look at the head. You can see there are a couple of scars along with the pupils for his eyes. Now he has a bit of an interesting hairpiece, one I'm not too fond of. This is the long-haired hairpiece, which was also found with Obi-Wan. But you can see here it is in the brown type of color. Here's a look at the back of the cape. Again, he has no back printing. And then here's a better look at the mold for the lightsaber and the arm. And of course, pushing down on his head, he lights up. So he lights up pretty well. A bit tough to see, but definitely he lights up very good. And of course the hairpiece is removable. I will not do it with this figure because it is a bit more difficult because of the size of the hair. But there is Anakin Skywalker. Next off, ObiWan Kenobi. This is probably my second favorite of all of these. You can see he has the bit of a, I don't know what it is, a bit of a dark orangish red kind of legs. And then he of course has the pretty common Jedi torso robe piece. You can see, of course, has the tan-colored arm, and of course, no back printing behind the cape. And then there's a better look at the mold for his saber. And in terms of this minifigure, actually, as we remove the hood, he did not come with a hairpiece, but he did come with a hood. Now, this minifigure is actually a bit different. It's a bit tough to see on the camera, but the actual beard and eyebrows are a bit of a brownish color rather than the orange that was found in the other minifigures at this of Obi-Wan in this year. So I definitely thought that was quite interesting. And of course, putting back its hood, he also lights up, and he lights up very, very well. As I did not have to replace the batteries on this one, as this one's in very, very good condition. But there's a look at Obi-Wan Kenobi. And probably my favorite of all five, we have Darth Vader. Now he is of course the only Sith Lord to have the light up lightsaber, and that was because in the year 2005 there weren't too many original trilogy sets, therefore he is the only minifigure to have the light up saber from the original trilogy, but I think he looks outstanding. You can see he of course has the pretty common torso print with the minimal buttons and armor. He has the plain black legs and the black hand. Moving along, he of course has his normal helmet. No back printing behind the cape. There's just a better look at the mold. And he does have the lightsaber, the red lightsaber. And the problem with this one is that because the actual lightsaber blade is so dark, it is sometimes a little tough to see. Especially if you turn it to the side, you can very barely see it. But if you turn from the front, you can really see it a lot better. And I really love this figure. I think this was an excellent figure to put with the light up lightsaber. Definitely would have liked to see Luke, but this is definitely a great figure and probably my favorite. Helmet is removable to reveal the headpiece, which is a bit of an interesting one. He looks a bit shocked there. But there is Darth Vader. And that's going to do it for the review of my LEGO Star Wars Light Up Lightsaber minifigures. So definitely these are some super awesome minifigures, probably some of the coolest LEGO Star Wars minifigures out there. But of course, sadly, they were discontinued after 2005. But I did actually forget to tell you the prices of each figure. So I'll quickly go ahead and do that right now. Darth Vader goes for around $30 to $35. Anakin for around $25 to $30. Obi-Wan goes for around $25. Mace Windu, again, around the same, $22 to $27. And then Luminara goes for $25 to $30. So these are definitely some pretty expensive figures. And once again, all these prices are based off of brooklink.com. So definitely it will cost you a bit of buck to get all 5. It personally took me over a year just to obtain all 5. And I would definitely suggest just buying the individual figures, as the sets they come in also are definitely quite a bit pricey. But there you go. Definitely tell me in the comments if you have any. What do you think? And stay tuned for more LEGO Star Wars reviews coming in the future. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and check out some of my other LEGO Star Wars set and minifigure reviews. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. This is BrickWizard59, and I'll see you all next time.